Right, who are in online, check whether my voice is clear and is my screen visible. You can type in chat with yes, no.
Yes, sir. Audible.
Fine, so we will understand in this session the comparison of different technologies related to .NET. So before that, I would like to discuss what is a full stack development. After discussing full stack development, then we see what exactly the technology is used for full stack development. So let us say that we are developing a website. Let us take example of gmail.com. We wanted to visit gmail.com. Then we will open our mobile phone or as well as desktop or laptop, anything. In that we open some browser.
Yeah, I have an exam today.
Who are in online, you please mute your mics.
What, sir?
Who are in online, please mute your mics.
Okay.
So let us assume that we wanted to visit gmail.com, then we will open our browser and type something www.gmail.com, right? Then request will go to where some web server over the internet or some server, let us say. Now let us say request is sent to server here. This is our server, let us assume. Now request will go to server and then it will come back to our client. That is nothing but our browser. At browser, we find something like, so enter username and enter password. So we will find some text boxes here. For username, entering one text box, and then for entering password, one text box. Then we find a button here. So like a submit button. Now the point here is, if you are entering, let us say, username and password here, and clicking on submit button, and again request will go from here to where? Server. This we already know. Let us assume that we are not entering any username, we are not entering any password, clicking on submit button. Request will go to server or it will not go to server? It will not go to server. Rather, we get message like enter username, enter password, we will get it. So now that code is executing in where? In our machine where we typed www.gmail.com. In that machine only that code is running. Let me say this is machine 1, I am calling M1. Let us say this is our machine 2, M2. Now some code is running here in our machine. And there is some code to develop these text boxes, buttons, colors, images, etc. So this code is nothing but HTML and CSS. So HTML and CSS is used to design these text boxes, buttons, images, background colors, all that it is used for designing and styling purpose. Then next, if we are not entering username, password, clicking on submit button, some code is running to check username entered or not, password entered or not. If we are registering, we will find some kind of code like password should be minimum this many characters, it should contain one lowercase letter, one uppercase letter. All that code is running in our machine only, machine 1. So to perform this, we use JavaScript programming. So that means in machine 1 here, HTML, CSS is running and JavaScript is running. That is running in machine 1 here. But that code is coming from where? From server. That code will come from server and will run in our machine. So now whatever the code we are using for this, we are interacting as a user with this. We are interacting as a user with this. Now this code is called as front-end code. This code is called as front-end code. So for front-end, what we are using HTML, CSS, as well as JavaScript or JavaScript frameworks like React.js, AngularJS, Node.js, Ajax, jQuery, all these are used for front-end code. Then let us say we are entering some username, some password and clicking on submit button, then request will go to where? Server. So now at server, if user entered username something ABC and password something ABC, this will go to server. At server, some code is running to check whether this username password correct or incorrect. So now whatever the code that is being running here, this is called server side code. This is called server side code. But here, whether our username password are stored only here, no. Username password are not stored in this server, rather. So at the server side, we will find one more server we call as a database server. So our username passwords are stored in a database. So this is our database, let us say. Maybe SQL Server or Oracle or MySQL or any kind of database, MongoDB, Postgre, any kind of database. Now again, this server will send a request to where? Database. To see whether this username password correct or not, it will give response to this. If username password correct, we will get our inbox here, mails, otherwise we will get some error message. So invalid credentials. These all is happening. Now, this is few years back. If you look into 10 years back, this front-end developer was separate. This server-side coding developer, people call as back-end developer. Back-end developer, this developer was separate. If we look into 10 years back, back-end developer was separate. And this is a database developer was separate, DB developer, let me go. So these all are separate people would write the code. That means 3 programmers would write the code. But from 10 years onwards, so all these code should be written by only one developer. A developer who knows this front-end coding, back-end coding, database coding is called as full stack developer. So all the code, only one developer need to write. This is called, that is full stack developer. Now we have seen in front end, we have HTML, CSS, JavaScript. At server side, what technologies are used here? At server side, the technologies used are, so ASP.NET and ASP.NET Core, advanced of ASP.NET. Then we have JSP, Java Server Pages, which are from Java, which is from Java. Then PHP, Personal Home Page, right? Then Django. Don't call it as Django, it is Django, pronounced as Django, which is Python framework. So now these all are the server-side coding technologies what we have. So that means if we want to develop a website perfectly, we need to have front-end, back-end, as well as database. You know what are the databases? Maybe SQL Server or Oracle or Postgre or any kind of database it can be. So now here, if you are learning .NET, you are going to learn ASP.NET and ASP.NET Core to develop web applications. All kind of web applications we want to develop, we will use this ASP.NET and ASP.NET Core. Java people are going to use JSP, Java Server Pages. They call it as Java EE, Java Enterprise Edition, or some people call Advanced Java. So this is how different names are there. Django is very much less. PHP is also very much less. So this is what we have full stack development. So now we understand what are the websites developed using these. So here I will show you the list of websites developed in these two technologies, especially Java and .NET. So then we understand the features of .NET, how many additional features are there in .NET compared with Java, we will understand. Then where we can use complete .NET, we will also understand. So here I will open a website called builtwith.com. Builtwith.com. I am typing a website, anz.com, AU. This is Australia, New Zealand Bank. So now we will see the technologies, what this site is going to do. This site, anz.com, is developed using what technologies? So some Adobe Sitecat Analysis, Adobe Marketing Cloud, like this, Adobe it is using. Some part is Adobe, and Twitter Analytics also it is using, Facebook Pixel, and GoLab Site, Facebook Signal. So like this, it has a Crux data set. So now the frameworks it is used is ASP.NET. So it did not use any Java here. Most of the banking websites are, so it is only JavaScript, not Java. jQuery is common for all technologies. So, but there is no Java EE used in this. So most of the banking, that is, sites are developed using ASP.NET. That we will prove here. So now I'm opening one more banking site. If you say axisbank.com, it is also completely developed in that is ASP.NET. And if you go to Punjab National Bank, it is also developed using ASP.NET. We will also see some of the, now you can see this is developed using ASP.NET. So this site I did not develop. So it is directly getting the data from internet. So if I type Java EE, there is no technology of Java EE here. So this is completely, this also developed using ASP.NET only. So we will open one website which is developed in Java EE Enterprise Edition. So probably some of these sites, few sites migrated to Java, but most of the websites are in ASP.NET only still. I'm opening now again builtwith.com. Now I'm searching for Bank of India. Now you can see Java EE I'm searching. This is developed in Java EE. Now we understand how many websites are developed using Java Enterprise Edition as well as ASP.NET, so that you will get clarity. So what I'm doing here, download a list of all websites using what? Java EE I'm clicking on. So now you can see how many websites, download all list of how many websites are there. 5,86,000 websites are developed using JSP or Java EE. Now we will come to ASP.NET. How many websites are developed using ASP.NET? You can see 27,87,371. So whereas Java websites are 5,86,000, but ASP.NET websites are what? 27,87,370. That means 5 times more websites are developed using ASP.NET round the globe compared with what? Java. So there are many features available in .NET which are not there in Java. So we will also see that before that, where this .NET is used. So .NET you can use for different technologies. I'm removing this. Before we go further, if anyone has any queries, you can type in chat. Here also, if you have any queries, you can. Online, if anyone has any doubts, you can type in chat. Server and database. Server, difference between server and database is when we see about server here. Now, there are different kinds of server softwares are available. The question we got is, what is the difference between server and database? So first we understand what is a server. A server is a software here. Most importantly to remember, it is not a computer. It is not a hardware. A software, a server is a software which takes request from client, processes the request, and deliver the response to the client. So this is what is a server. Now, what are the types of servers we have here? Types of server softwares, let me say. We have OS, operating system server, web server, we have database server. Then other servers also, they're reporting servers, SSRS we call, SQL server reporting services. Like this, many server softwares are there. Now, when we are speaking here, the meaning of server or backend here is the web server. This is called web server. What is the purpose of web server here is, a web server is capable to hold multiple websites. Once we are developing a website, we will place in the internet. When we place it in the internet, we place in this web server software. Web server software is capable to hold multiple websites, and it can process the request coming from around the globe, any client, and it will serve the request. So we can place different websites based on their compatibilities. What are the web servers available? So Internet Information Services, Apache, Tomcat, these all are the web servers. Nginx, like this, we have different web servers available. So which are capable to hold websites and serve the request to the clients. Git is not a web server, Git is a versioning tool it is. So now we have database servers or what, like
Sir,
Oracle.
Castly web server.
MS SQL server, then MySQL. So you have Postgre, Ingress, so many databases are available, MongoDB, right? So these all are database server softwares. So what are operating system servers? Windows operating system server is there, and we have Linux operating system server. We have Unix operating system server. So like this, these all are operating system servers. So this is, when we say database, it implicates that, it represents that it is a database server software. So when we say here backend server or server in the internet, it represents what? Web server.
That it's maintained the website.
Yes.
How to say that it's maintained the website?
Now you developed ASP.NET. If you are developing ASP.NET website, where it will run? In IIS or Nginx web server, it will run.
Indeed.
Java people will use Apache Tomcat. Right? When you go to Visual Studio.NET, if you have idea, you will click on IIS. Run it. That means it is running at where? IIS web server.
But I don't have internet. I am using the ASP.
That is installed in your local machine.
Okay.
IIS is available in your local machine. So that IIS is taking request and sending the response.
First of all, I don't deploy into the ASP. Okay.
You cannot run without deploying on web server, any website you cannot run.
By default, that.
Yes, by default. How many websites are developed around the globe? Every website is mandatorily running in one or the other web server. Got it?
Like default one. Then if you don't use the default one.
Yes.
Like that, if you don't.
Compulsory. Web application 100% will run it from web server. Without web server, it cannot run at all. Right? Yes. Any other queries, please, in online?
Sir, Kestrel is a web server.
Yes, of course.
Okay, sir. So what is Java Spring Boot? Is that same as Java
We
EE?
will discuss. We will discuss what is Spring Boot, what is equivalent is there. Next discussion is that only for us.
Okay, sir. One more doubt.
Yes.
In real life, so JavaScript is the most used language. So
Yes.
how we? So I have doubt.
You can. JavaScript is the #1 programming language as of now in IT industry.
Okay, but a lot of websites are built in ASP.NET. I mean Java
No,
backend.
that is why I explained first this. ASP.NET is running at where? Server side, right?
Okay.
JavaScript is running at where? Client side.
Okay.
JavaScript enhancement is Ajax and jQuery. Ajax is nothing but asynchronous JavaScript and XML, and jQuery is also the dialect of that is JavaScript. Now, what you are hearing .js, that means AngularJS, React.js, Node.js, all these are JavaScript frameworks. Mean they are going to run at where? Client side.
Okay,
So,
sir.
making the developer is easy. All these frameworks will make developer work is easy. You want to purely write in JavaScript, if it takes 2 hours work, using this React.js, AngularJS, you can finish in 10 minutes.
Okay.
Right. Any other queries, please?
No, sir.
In online from anyone, any other queries? So, most of the people know that about Java only, if I'm not wrong. Very few people know about that is .NET. So here we will discuss what are the equivalent technologies that Java people are using, and at the same time, what equivalent technology is there in .NET. So then Java people first going to learn core Java. So in .NET, we are going to learn here .NET framework plus C# programming language. C# is the programming language here. So where the people learn in Java, core Java, we will learn .NET framework plus C# programming language. Then next is Java people call advanced Java. Java EE Enterprise Edition. Here we learn ASP.NET or ASP.NET Core. ASP.NET Core is advanced to ASP.NET. Then next Java people are going to learn Hibernate. So here we will learn link and entity framework. Link and entity framework. And so Java people will learn Spring and Spring Boot. Spring and Spring Boot. And here we learn MVC and MVC core. So just the core is added as advanced version. There is nothing if you know the complete idea, I can discuss the differences, but I'm not discussing the differences as of now. Spring and Spring Boot, here we learn MVC and MVC core. And Java people learn Web API. And here we also learn, that means RESTful services they call. Here also we call Web API with RESTful services. Before Web API, people would call web services. Web services, WCF, Web API, all these are enhanced, slowly enhanced from web services to WCF, WCF to Web API. So there also RESTful web services, here also RESTful web services with Web API. Then Java people are going to use microservices. Here also we have microservices. So here also we will develop microservices. So Java people will use maximum AWS cloud. We will use maximum Azure cloud. So it is not that Java is supported only on AWS. We can deploy Java applications in Azure, ASP.NET or any .NET applications we can deploy on AWS. So they are compatible. So this is what they are going to use and what we use. Everything what is there in Java, we have in .NET. But in fact, .NET contains additional features. What additional features are there? We will discuss one after the other. Now, people will ask me why Java is not taught for us in colleges and universities. The reason Microsoft, that means Java was released in 1995 and has become platform independent in 1998. So .NET first version was released in 2000. So 2005 it has become platform independent. And Java is free software. Here .NET is also free software. We need not pay single NP to Microsoft to use .NET. I think you know free software meaning. I'm expecting that you already know about it. And the next one is Java is open source. .NET is also open source. No change in this. .NET is also open source. So that means source code. Open source meaning is source code is available. That is source code is available over the internet. So that means I wanted to do some modifications. When I'm using .NET or Java, I did not find some features. I wanted to add some new features to .NET or Java. Then I can download total code of Java or .NET. I can add additional features and I can use it. That is the meaning of open source. So any company or any person who wanted to add additional features, they can add directly. So that mechanism we call as open source. It is free software and also open source.
Even though it's suppose console write-line, tools are how to work on the console write-line using those.
You cannot see for console.writeline internally what code Microsoft has written, that code. That code is available.
We can see and
You can see and you can modify and you can use it. That is the meaning of open source. Free software means there are two kinds of softwares. free and purchased licensed softwares. Suppose you wanted to use Windows operating system. Is it free? No, you need to purchase. Hardware companies are tying up with Microsoft and they are giving some charge will be there. That is not free software. So that means if we need to pay to Microsoft to use Windows. So, but whereas I wanted to use .NET or Java, we are not paying to anyone, right? We are directly downloading from internet, we are using and we are no. .NET is completely free software. You need not pay single entry to Microsoft. You wanted to use .NET. .NET framework you download. Visual Studio community is there, it is free. If people are using in commercial, then companies will ask you to pay. In Java, it is common. In .NET is also it is common. They will buy so many versioning tools.
So not framework is not open. So
Can you come again, please? Somebody is asking, you can type in chat, please.
Is there any particular difference in commercial?
Commercially is nothing but we suppose a company is there, they want to develop a project, right? They want to use Java or .NET, both are free. But when we come to Visual Studio .NET, right? Community is free, but Visual Studio .NET Enterprise Edition is there, right? They want to use it. So that means why people are using Visual Studio .NET? I want to write a code of .NET in Notepad. I can write and run it comfortably. Microsoft will not pay you. But why we are using Visual Studio .NET? Because very quickly it will be completed. If you take a company is asking the developers to use Notepad to develop their applications, right? So then it may take 2 years or 3 years. If they purchase Visual Studio .NET, then it can be done in 3 months. That means for companies, this one year and 10 months or 9 months salaries will be saved. So that's why companies will go for it. Enterprise edition only, they need to buy.
Compared to normal version, enterprise version has more options.
Not more options. Enterprise edition, they cannot use it. If company find, they will file a case legal. So it becomes problem again. Got it. Now you are saying Google Maps, right? Is Google Maps free? It is not free. We feel that Google Maps is free, but absolutely it is not free. You are using in Uber Google Maps, Ola Google Maps. Ola will pay to Google for using Google Maps. Uber will pay to Google for Google Maps. Swiggy will pay to Google for using Google Maps. They are not free. Normally, when we are using browsing in our normal users are browsing, it is free. But commercial purpose, it is payable. So Ola or Uber or Swiggy or any company want to use Google Maps, compulsory they need to pay to Google. Otherwise, they cannot use. Because these companies are getting money by using that SR. That's why they need to pay to Google Maps. So that is how commercials are going to. You want to use as an individual user, you can. But you want to make it as commercialized, you should pay. Anywhere common sense. So now .NET is free software, Java is also free software. Yes, somebody is online is asking some other question. You can ask or you can type in chat. Preferable, you can type in chat.
sir, what is Kestrel and IIS? Difference between Kestrel and IIS?
Many differences are there.
Shortly.
No, see the discussion is only on features of .NET and Java. If you want, you attend the session, regular session, I will completely give the differences. So
Okay,
because
sir.
I don't want to deviate from the path. Getting
Okay,
my
okay, sir.
right.
Here we are using microservices.
What is microservices? Fine. Early, what would happen? When you look into solid design principle, you call single responsibility. Every method will have only one responsibility. So we are going to have multiple methods in one service. Got it? So let us say I have some 10 or 20 methods in one service. I can deploy over the internet. But what happens, that is going to increase burden on the server, first point. Then what people identified, each function probably I want to make a file and a service. Right? Micro means small. So multiple, where I have multiple functions in one service, I'm going to divide it into smaller blocks. Smaller blocks. Each function or two functions. So as much as possible, we will make a less number of functions in one service. So that we call as microservices. So in fact, microservices also enhancement of web API, people will say, but the difference between microservices and web API is SOA programming tool. Hopefully, you know SOA, service-oriented architecture. If you are developing one code in a web API, in one technology, we can use in other technology also. But microservices can be used only in the same technology and multiple technologies. So Java microservices means Java people are reducing the number of functions in each service. So .NET means the people are reducing number of functions in each, and they will be deployed over the cloud. So for that only people use CD/CI tools, continuous integration, continuous deployment. Right. So can I build desktop applications in Java? Yes, of course, you can use AWT is there, abstract windowing toolkit, but not efficient as compared with C# Windows Forms and WPF. So in Java, you are going to use AWT, abstract windowing toolkit. In .NET, you will be using Windows Forms as well as WPF, Windows Presentation Foundation. Are we clear, Vikrant? Now, what additionally we can do using this .NET, we are going to, where it is more efficient. I have already shown you websites which are developed in ASP.NET only 5 times more than Java. So now, where we can use? In a gaming programming, we can use efficiently. So for gaming programming, first preferable language is C++. Next preferable language is C#, and Java comes in 4th place. So 3rd place JavaScript, but not efficient, only for client side they are using. So C++ is first, second goes to C# for gaming programming. And why C# is, C# will use Unity 3D. Unity, and latest one is Unity 3D. So this Unity 3D entire code is in C# only, which is .NET developed, and that can be integrated efficiently here using C#. So C# is used very good for programming, gaming programming. And apart from that, what you can use? You wanted to develop AR, augmented reality, virtual reality, so mixed reality, and extended reality. This is going to become very good in coming future. Down the line, 5 to 10 years, all will be using these technologies in training models. These only will be used in future. All training will be developed on this. I want to give a training of car repair, bike repair, or I want to give training for doctors in hospitals. All that models will be developed by using these only. Augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality, and extended reality. So these programming also efficiently done in C#. This is, in fact, C# is the first main supported programming language for these technologies. So I will show you, I have, I think I have downloaded the features here. I will show you all those. Give me a minute. Right. So for game development, top programming languages are this I prepared by searching over the internet: C++, C# and JavaScript. and the next place goes to Java and Python. So similarly, that is best programming languages for XR development. First place is for C# because it has Unity engine, and then C++, Java, then Swift, Objective-C, JavaScript, WebXR, Python. So this is how we are going to use. Then another one is you want to develop that is AI ML applications. You are going to use first is Python, no doubt in that. First is Python, and second goes to C#. In C# also, we can develop AI ML applications. So Microsoft is giving a framework exclusively for AI ML, Accord Framework.net. You can see machine learning. You can develop so many applications like supervisor learning, unsupervised learning, regressions. All that can be done. Where Java cannot be used here. So Java cannot be used to build AI ML applications, but Java is good in data science. After Python, Java is good in data science. They have Hadoop. You might have heard about Hadoop. So for data science analytics, they are going to use Hadoop. So here we will use Power BI. Power BI is again based on C# programming language only. We will use Power BI. But for data analysis, business intelligence, data analysis. So they are using Java people are using completely Hadoop. So you might have heard about Hadoop, right? So, and Python has its own frameworks. It is, of course, Python is good for first place goes to Python, second Java, third Power BI in data science. But here for AI ML, first place goes to Python, second place goes to C#. But what is the advantage if we learn .NET compared with Java and C#? So if you use Java, if you learn Java, you can go only towards web application development and data science. You cannot go for gaming development, not efficient, XR, VR development, and all that. Right? AML also you cannot go towards that. But whereas if you learn Python, suppose Python is especially used for only what AML, specialized for AML and data science. You cannot use for what gaming programming or XR, VR or web applications efficiently. You cannot. So if you learn .NET, so the advantage is you can develop desktop applications. What are desktop applications here? That is what I'm saying. Python is the first place. Second place goes to C#. Rasika, I think I'm clear. First place is Python only, no doubt. Second place goes to C#. So desktop applications we can develop. Web applications we can develop. All websites we can develop, web applications, even we can develop mobile applications. For mobile applications, as of now, Java is first place, second place goes to C#. So mobile applications we can develop. And gaming applications, AML applications, data science applications, AR, VR, XR applications. So it is supporting many different kind of applications development are supported by .NET. That is the advantage. So now we discuss here. Now I have shown you this buildwith.com. You can see maximum banking websites are developed using that is ASP.NET only. So that is one area. And if you go to Indian Army, where I have done one project, Indian Army is maximum using C# for their applications. So the application I worked is IWTS. Infantry Weapon Training Simulator. If you go to Tirumalagiri, all over India, R&D Center, Research and Development Center of Army, Indian Army. is available in Tirumalagiri here in Hyderabad. So that is called SDD, Simulator Development Division. If you get a time, you visit. As a visitor, you can take permission and visit. Very good projects which are being developed in XR as well as in all these in C#. They are using maximum 70 to 80%. They are developing applications using C# only. So if at all you get a chance, you can visit there. You will get idea. So how C# can be used, .NET can be used efficiently. As a visitor, we can take permission and we can allow. They will allow us. So this infantry weapon training simulator is a kind of project that is when a soldier is firing a gun, instead of bullet, laser will be released. So this instead of bullet, laser will be released under. There will be targets projected on a white screen with projectors. So targets are developed in Unity 3D that is integrated with C#. So now when laser is hitting the target, is it hitting at an accurate position, whether bullet speed, wind calculation, all these are calculated in C# programming. So that where I involved is. So if it is a rainy weather, how bullet deviation will be, if it is windy weather, if it is foggy weather. So, and in the morning, how it will be, in the afternoon, how it will be, in the evening, how it will be, in the night, how it will be. All these are developed in a model, simulator model, and army soldiers were given training on it. So on that integration project, I worked. Right. So this is one. So there also, Indian Army also is using maximum what C#, 70 to 80% of their applications are being developed in C#. So this is where C# and .NET can be used efficiently compared with other programming languages or other technologies. And what are the features that are available in that is .NET which are not there in Java? I have listed out here. If you are already aware of some programming, etc., you can get it. First one is pointers. Pointers are not supported in Java, but we can create pointers in C# comfortably. What Java people will argue here is pointers are not safe security wise, so we removed pointers. But I say AK-47 is not secure, not safe, SR. If we ban AK-47, what happens? We also don't get protection, right? So that means we should have a mechanism, we should protect ourselves and we should allow it to use. So that is what Microsoft is doing in .NET. So it will use pointers as well as it also is providing security. Then second feature is language interoperability, which is not available in Java. Means in Java, we can run only Java programming language code. We cannot run other programming languages code unless we go for SOA, service-oriented architecture programming, like Web API. That is available in all technologies. We may go to Python or C# or that is .NET or Java. Web API is common. SOA, service-oriented architecture programming tool. Anywhere we can use that. But apart from that, what is language interoperability? Language interoperability is nothing but if I'm writing code in other programming languages, I should be able to use in my programming language. That means .NET is supporting more than 90 programming languages like VB.NET, C#.NET, F#.NET, Windows PowerShell. Like this, if we take list, more than 90 programming languages are there. If I'm writing code in VB, I can also use it in C#, F#, other programming languages. Even in C++, if I have C++ code, that also I can use in where C#, F#, VB, etc. Code we write in one programming language and we can, that is, use in other programming languages. That flexibility is available only in .NET. It is not available in other programming languages. So this is the second feature, what we call language interoperability. Then third one is operator overloading. You know, method overloading, right? So static polymorphism is achieved by using method overloading and operator overloading. So method overloading is supported in all programming languages, but operator overloading is not supported in Java. Operator overloading is supported in C# and even in C++. Not supported in Java and Python. We cannot overload our operators in especially Java. So the next, partial classes. What are partial classes? Same class code I wanted to write in multiple files. Then we go for partial classes. Some of you, if any one of you learned already .NET, so you know partial class. We will be using in ASP.NET, MVC. Everywhere we will be using partial classes. That means we can split one class code into multiple files. But that is not possible in Java. In Java, total class code we should write only in a single file. In multiple files, we cannot write. So this is available. Partial classes concept is available only in C#. Then structures. So structures are available in C++ and C#. Java doesn't support structures. So what Java people will argue, class is enhanced version of structure. So I don't want to use structure. Why should I use structure? But what is the difference between structure and class? Abstract class, partial class, both are different. Both are not same. Java supports abstract class. C# also supports abstract class. Now, what is the advantage of structure? Structure will use less memory compared with what? Class. So less memory it is going to use. That's why we call it as lightweight. It's also kind of reference type only, not exactly value type. So now when we say structure here, I will say, suppose black and TV nowadays nobody is using, or some people, at least some % of people are using. Yes, sir. Advanced to black and white TV, we got color TV. Advanced to color TV, LED TV we got. Advanced to LED, now so many versions are there. So now actually we should not use normal black and white TV or color TV. Yes, sir. But what is the advantage of color TV over LED or latest TVs? It is cheaper. People who cannot afford that color latest model TVs, they will go for normal color TVs. Yes or no? So that means where I want to save memory, where I don't want that much memory, I want to save the memory with limited features. I can use what? Structures. I cannot ignore it because my memory will be saved in my application. Yes or no? So that is the reason structures are available in where? .NET.
So on the time we will control the class to particular size of the class.
Yes, now you are going to find like color dot, right? Color dot red, color dot. Color is what now? It is an enumeration of structure. So it will take less memory, yes, sir. Getting the point. In such scenario, we will use it. Where I don't want all object-oriented programming features, I want to use only few. I can save the memory also, right? So there we are using structures. Then indexes. C# is? Many structures are in C#. I will show you many structures, inbuilt structures are there in C#. Even we can create our own structures also. I will show you. Let it open. Now indexers. What are indexers? This feature is not there in Java again. We are going to use properties in C# for providing abstraction to the data fields. For one property, for one data field, we will use one property. Compared for properties here, Java people are using, when we use properties in C#, Java people are going to use setters and getters. Setters and getters. Each setter and getter is capable to provide abstraction for one data field, one class variable they call it as. Here I want to provide abstraction for an array. That is not possible in Java. We will use indexers here to provide abstraction for entire array. So this is available only in C#, even it is not available in C++. Java also doesn't support indexers. So that is the advantage what we have here compared with Java. Then explicit interface implementation.
Indexer is used to provide the get in entire array, right?
Total array for entire array.
That is the.
Yes. It is not there in Java. Yes. Less requirement, but it is used. We will see. In regular sessions, I can discuss all those. Right? Now, what is this explicit interface implementation? So, most important is this explicit interface implementation. I will discuss here. If some of you have idea of that is interfaces, we will discuss. Let us say I have two interfaces here. Interface I1 and here interface I2. Let us assume that we have a method here, void M1. Forget about the code, void M1 and void M2. So here, what I am doing, I am creating inheriting a class from these two interfaces. Let us assume that we are creating a new class C1. Which is inherited from I1, I2 interfaces. Then you know what we are going to do. We will provide override M1 method and we will give some code here. Forget about the code. I'm not writing the code here. So then M2 also we will override. M2 method also we will override. I'm not looking into exact syntaxes, all those. This you already know, right? No problem, because M1, M2 are two different methods of interfaces. Now we can provide separate implementation. But assume a scenario here that I have both interfaces with the same method. I have both interfaces with the same method M1 only, let us assume. Getting the point? Now, when we write code for the class here, when we write the code for the class here, what we are going to do? We are going to write something like void M1 and we will give some code here. If I'm not wrong, you understood this. Yes or no? But M1 method of I1, M1 method of I2 are getting same implementation or different implementation? Same implementation. What I wanted to provide separate implementation for I1 M1, I2 M1. I wanted to give separate implementation for I1 M1 here and for I2 M1 here. Both I want to create separately. Have you practiced in C#? No? This mechanism we call as explicit interface implementation. We can provide separate implementation for I1 M1, I2 M1, which is not supported in Java. Where it is used in real time, you observe. Assume that I have a class. Account is my class. Let us say, or I will take a savings account is one interface, okay? And I want to take one more interface, current account. I would like to take one more interface, current account. This is also an interface, okay? Now let us assume in both interfaces, I have a method. Let us assume that withdrawal is my method. Withdrawal is method here. And here also withdrawal abstract method I have. Now suppose I am creating a withdrawal and we can have deposit, etc. I am creating one more class, let us say class account transaction inherits from savings account, comma, current account. Now, here obviously we need to override withdrawal code. When we are overriding withdrawal code, savings account and current account will have same rules for withdrawal or different rules? Different rules, yes or no? So same rules I cannot give for both accounts. That means my saving account should have separate implementation here. Current account should have what? Separate implementation. So this mechanism is called explicit interface implementation. So this is not supported in where? Java, supported in C#. So this we call as explicit interface implementation. Then access modifiers.
So on the side, we are going to get particular.
Yes, interface name dot method name. So here we will use savings account dot withdrawal and the next method current account dot withdrawal, right? Fine. So then next access modifiers. Java supports 4 access modifiers. First one is private. Second one is protected. Third one is public. And fourth one is default. Only 4 access modifiers are supported in Java, but .NET or C# supports 7 access modifiers. First one is private. Second one is protected. Third one is internal. Fourth one is protected internal. Fifth one is private protected. And sixth one is public. Seventh one is file. So much more flexibility and supportiveness is there for access modifiers. Java has only 4. Yesterday, who attended interview question discussion, I discussed all these. What is the difference among all these? I discussed it. So Java has only limited access modifiers, but C# is giving more facility, more control of the data fields and members of the class with these access modifiers. So this is the next comparison between Java and C#. Then call by reference. Hopefully you know call by reference, right? I will take example of C here. I have suppose add int A comma int B. I'm taking example of C here to make you to understand call by reference. Some code. Now here I want to call add function. You know we will take add something 10 comma 20. Right? You know that here 10 will go to A, 20 will be passed to B, you know. This is called call by value. And if I have a function like add int star A, comma int star B, forget about the code here. I want to call this. I need to take something like this. Int x equals to 10, let us say, comma y is equals to 20. And I need to call this add address of x, comma address of y. We need to pass addresses. Now, 10 and 20 will not be passed to A and B here. Rather, address of x will be passed to A, address of y will be passed to B. That means, assume that this is x and this is y, where x is storing 10, y is storing 20, x address assume A11, y address assume B11, hexadecimal notation address will be in. Now A11 will be passed to A, B11 will be passed to B. Addresses will be passed. This is called call by reference. We want to have call by reference, we should have what? Pointers, SR. Pointers are not supported in where Java. So that's why it doesn't support what? Call by reference. So we have pointers. So now we can develop such kind of call by reference functions in C#. So this is the next difference between C# and Java. Then come to the next, returning multiple values from a method. I want to return multiple value from a method. In Java, it is not possible. If we wanted to develop something like public int add of int a comma int b, so then we can say that return a plus b. This you know. I want to return multiple values from a method. What we use in C#? Out keyword we are using. By using out keyword, we can return any number of values. Yes or no? So that method, that mechanism is not there in where? Java. So I want to return multiple values here. I can take public void add, then we can use int a comma int b comma out int, let us say add, let me take here operations. Let me take int p, I want to store addition value, then I can give out int yes, then out int m. Now this method will return how many values from it? How many out parameters I have here? 3. So that is p, s and n. Three values it will return to the calling places, or no? Getting the point? This facility is not available in where? Java. So we cannot return multiple values from a method to the calling place. But in C# we can return multiple values to the calling place. So that is another advantage in C# what we have. So next is async and await are used for asynchronous programming. Java supports asynchronous programming, but developer work will be more. Developer need to write more. What is asynchronous programming? I will give you simple example to make you to understand about asynchronous programming. So what is asynchronous programming? If we are, let me take here directly Google only. I'm typing something ASP. ASP. Now you see, immediately we got something here, sir. In early days, I wanted to take ASP.NET security or session. Immediately we are getting these many, yes, sir. I want to search for ASP.NET security model few years back. Few years back, before 2010, right? It was required to search entire ASP.NET security model. It was required to type entire thing and click on search button. Then only entire string would be sent to server and we would get response. But now that was called synchronous program. That method was called typing entire thing and clicking on search, then response is coming. That was called synchronous program. But now when you observe here, when we type A, immediately something we are getting. Yes, something we are getting, yes or no? So nothing but here, what we are going to get. When I am typing A, before typing P, request already sent related to what? AS. So for that, Ajax engine is there in our browser. Browser contains Ajax engine, which is going to take this asynchronous request. That means it will take the request behind. Before we type, it will send it to server and response it will get it. So that means this asynchronous programming is used in web applications as well as multi-threading applications. When one thread is doing other thread, instead of waiting, it can do other tasks. Before asynchronous programming, what was the scenario? In multi-threaded programming, let us say we have some 3 threads. I'm assuming, let us say T1, T2, T3. T1, T2, T3. If these 3 threads are using some common resource, let us say R1. Now, when R1 is being used by T1, until T1 releases, T2 and T3 threads should be idle. They cannot continue their execution. And if T2 is using R1, then T1 and T3 should be waiting. If T3 is using R1, T1 and T2 should be in waiting. But that is a synchronous model. In a synchronous model, if R1 is being used by T1, then T2 can continue. Apart from the work of R1, remaining work it can continue. When R1 is released, then it will execute related code of what? R1. This mechanism is called what? Asynchronous program. This asynchronous programming is supported in C# by using async and await keywords. And Java also supports asynchronous programming, but developer work will be more. Here in C#, developer work will be less. So that is another advantage of Java compared with what? Sorry, another advantage in C# compared with Java. Then next is nullable types. So what are nullable types here? You know, optional parameters. Optional parameters are nothing but when we are creating a method, we can give question mark to the parameters. Have you encountered? Public void, let us say some method M1, and if I have int A, comma, int question mark B, and comma, I can use something string X, comma, string question mark Y. So when we use question mark, then what does it mean? They are nullable types and parameters are optional. That means parameters are optional means what? If we are calling this method, that is int A value mandatorily should be passed, sir. If we don't pass, it will give error. So if I remove this question mark, B value should be passed compulsory. Here, if I give question mark, B value is optional. If you don't pass also, it will accept. Such kind of types are called what? Nullable types. This feature is also not available in where? Java. It is available in where? C#. So this is nullable types. Then next is extension methods. What are extension methods? Let us say I have a string class. Hopefully you might have worked with a string class if I am not wrong. Yes, sir? So built-in class is there, string. There are some built-in functions, right? 2 lowercase, 2 uppercase, compare. Such functions are there in string class. Now I want to add my own function or own method to existing class library. It is not possible in Java. But here I can add to the existing Microsoft class library or our own class library once developed. Later I want to add another method, we can add. We want to add one new method or new function to the existing class library class. Then we use extension methods. So that extension methods are used to add our own function, our own method, our own functionality to the existing class library. So that is possible with the help of what methods? Extension methods. And this is not available in extension methods help. I will write here. Type here, help to add new functionality or methods to the existing class library or classes. Existing class library or classes. Are we clear? No. Already we discussed a separate AIML framework, which is Accord.NET. Very good support for AR, VR, MR, and XR, and auto-implemented properties. Hopefully you worked in C# auto-implemented properties. Did you work? No? So I will take what are auto-implemented properties here. Let us say I have a class, something like this. Class employee. Where we have some int emp id. Let us say, I'm taking for simplicity only to string ename. Then we wanted to create properties, we will take public int p emp id, such a way we are going to create. Then what we will write here, set accessor and get accessor, emp id is equals to value. Then we will take get return emp id. Are we clear? This code you already know, yes or no? Now we can take for emp id, this is the property. For ename, we will take one more property here, public string p ename. So here ename is equals to value, return ename. That means for creating property, mandatorily we are creating what? Data fields. Without data fields, can we create a property? No. This is general scenario. Even in Java also it is not possible. Now you practiced this, but I hope that you don't know they are auto-implemented properties. Class employee, if I have something like this, without creating a data field, I can take, say, public int p emp id. And I can take set terminator get terminator. Did you practice this? This is called auto-implemented property. Where there are no data fields, we can create the properties. Then who will create data fields in this case? Runtime will create data fields. Why these are used? I want to create lightweight classes, then we use auto-implemented properties. Lightweight classes. So then this is auto-implemented property. This feature is again not available in where? Java, we have in C#. So these are the comparisons. Which features are not available in Java that are available? I'm showing that is how many? 16 features I'm showing. Which are not available in Java, which are available in C#. So that's why you will always say C# equals to C plus C++ plus Java plus additional features. So this is what we have, and check out any queries in this. Those who are in online, if you have any queries, you can unmute and ask, or you can type in chat.
Sir, what is the AML framework?
AML
This-
framework is Accord.NET
So,
framework is available. This is the separate framework developed by Microsoft. From 2010 it started. Now it is from past 5 years. This is being used actively by at least 22% companies. 80% companies are using Python, but 20% companies are using this. This is Accord.NET. You can write complete AML code, AML models, all you can develop by using C# programming language.
okay, sir.
Any other queries, please? If you have idea of AML, you can develop all these applications. So many examples will be there, tutorials will be there, you can develop, so many are there. So it is again a biggest ocean. That means if you learn .NET, how many paths are there? You can go to full stack developer, you can go to mobile application developer, you can go to that is AML developer, gaming developer, XR, VR, MR, augmented reality, extended reality developer. Like that, multiple ways are there. Once if you become one expert in one .NET technology.
There is Copilot is developed using this framework.
Which one?
Copilot, GitHub Copilot is developed
Can you
using this
please
framework.
type it? Can you please type it?
Yes, okay.
And even for CAD CAM also, computer aided designing, computer aided machining also, C# is the most powerful programming language again. Typed.
They are unable to type. The host has disabled group chats like that thing so showing.
No, no, no. I am receiving messages from others.
I think it's my system issue.
You spell it, I will type.
GITHUB COPI without it.
GITHUB,
GitHub Copilot.
GitHub.
Yes, GitHub.
Yeah, this GitHub is entirely,
GitHub
it is,
Copilot.
GitHub is, yes. It is developed using C# and it is Microsoft owned. But GitHub is
No, sir,
versioning tool.
Copilot is developed in framework.
Copilot is
Okay, sir, I
GenAI tool. Copilot is GenAI tool.
Okay, sir.
GenAI tool.
Is that developed using this framework? AML framework?
Copilot is just like your ChatGPT. Getting the point? You can integrate this Copilot with Visual Studio.NET or Visual Studio Code, and it will give you help when you are writing the code. That's why it is given Copilot. Copilot is nothing but in aeroplane, if pilot is there, beside Copilot will be there, who is helping the pilot. Similarly, if you are a developer, it will help you. This Copilot tool will help you in writing the code. And GitHub is versioning tool again.
Okay, sir.
Any other queries, please? Any other queries? How to? Multiple versions of the software you are going to. You can place your code, different versions. It's also open source and free. But commercially, again, we need to pay if you want to use commercial.
If I understand, you still developing in .NET open version.
Not only .NET.
Okay.
Any kind of application, once you develop, you can place it. Early, what was there? We had ALM tools separate. ALM is nothing but application lifecycle management. You want to develop one application, you need to know designing tools, architecture tools, then testing tools, then deployment tools, versioning tools. Java people will say our Java is free, but they need to, projects who will develop, they need to buy all these tools. Remember, though they may develop in Java or .NET or anywhere, companies need to develop all these tools. So these all are the designing tools, means they will help us to draw the low level design documents, high level design documents. There are such tools available, right? And architecturing tools, we wanted to build the architecture of the project, tools are available, testing tools, right? And deployment tools. Early separate deployment tools were there, but now when cloud has come, we are using Kubernetes, right? Such kind of tools we are using. So for CDCI, continuous integration, continuous deployment. Versioning tool, when we are releasing the softwares, versioning. It is also a team management tool, GitHub is. You can say versioning and team management tool. That means a project, they will create a directory for the project. Project manager will have complete control of the project, and the modules will be given to team leads, and the team leads will still give permission to respective tasks of the developers. So when developers are getting the code, they call it as check-in, and when they are placing the code, they call it as checkout. So everything, that means time including modifications, everything are maintained in that tool, GitHub tool. So now as a developer, I am modifying some code and checking out. Then it will record, this is the modification code, at this time it is added to the main module. So all that will be recorded. So and the permissions will be easy in that. So once the project manager is giving permission only for particular module to particular developer can access only that. The remaining code cannot be accessible. So if time permits, I will give you one session on it. Okay. Any other queries, please, in online? In online, any other queries? So we focused only the features of .NET compared with Java. That is the purpose of this session, right? Any queries, please?
Sir, what is the difference between .NET Framework and .NET Core?
.NET Framework, initially people started with .NET Framework. In a .NET Framework, if we wanted to make platform, that means .NET Framework was in fact not platform independent. It was required to depend on third-party tool to make it as platform independent. And at that time, it was only supported in Linux, not other operating system. But when Microsoft released complete platform independent same .NET Framework, it enhanced and it released, it made it as complete platform independent. So from then Microsoft called it as without depending on third-party tools. From then Microsoft is calling it as .NET Framework Core. And when we look into feature-wise, many that is differences are available feature-wise if we go. But major difference is when Microsoft made it platform independent without depending on third-party tool. From then Microsoft calling it as .NET Framework Core. So now .NET Framework is slowly, the older version name Microsoft is calling as .NET Framework, newer version Microsoft is calling as .NET Framework Core. So and when Microsoft released .NET Framework Core, parallel to that, it released ASP.NET Core, MVC Core, all that. And in ASP.NET Core, in traditional ASP.NET, it was required to write much more code, and it was taking much more memory. But in ASP.NET Core, lightweight frameworks are introduced. So where it is so easy and lightweight components are introduced, Drawbacks of ASP.NET all have been removed in ASP.NET Core. Of course, if we discuss that again, it will lead to more 1 hour. So, but basic difference is .NET Core is complete platform independent without using third-party tools. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Any other queries, please?
Sir, most of the big applications like Flipkart, Amazon doesn't use .NET. Why is like that, sir?
See, it is, you cannot say that there are no e-commerce websites are there in a Flipkart, right? That using .NET. I will type here Flipkart.
Okay.
Let me say. Let me check Flipkart website completely. Right, this is Flipkart, right? Not
Yes.
this. Let me see in what technology it is developed. I'm showing many banking website applications, right? Than banking, more secured websites are there than banking. Any other
sir.
crucial websites are there?
No, sir.
So that's what I'm showing, more than dozen banking websites, many banking, not more than dozen. In my view, more than dozen are there. So let me see in which this is developed. Even Java also, they did not use Ajax library. Atlassian Cloud, Twitter, Facebook, jQuery, React is used. The thing, most of the people will ask me a question, sir, why we don't have in universities or colleges? The reason is when Microsoft developed .NET, it visited only IITs and NITs. It did not, Microsoft did not visit the normal universities. So that's why most of the universities do not know. So that is the reason I have shown why, how many websites are developed in ASP.NET. Getting the point? You cannot say that in these 27 lakh 87,000 websites, there are many websites which are in e-commerce. If we search, we will get. Getting the point? Are we clear?
Yes.
Yes. Any other queries, please? So, just we compared .NET and Java here, not others. So, if no queries, we will wind up the session. This is only awareness workshop. Any queries here? Right. So, I'm winding up the session if there are no queries. Right. So, you can be in contact with Vamshi. If you have still any queries, he will ping me, right? Have a nice time until the next session.
Is there any WhatsApp group to get informations?
I think you contact Vamshi, who texted, how you got the link, I don't know. Vamshi is the person who is maintaining all this.
I got as a text message like at. So how can I contact
You call
Vamshi?
these people, quality thought people, they will inform you,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So have a nice time until the next session.
Certificate will I get?
Yeah, certificate people will provide. Any other queries?
Sir, your LinkedIn ID can you give?
My mail ID,
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn ID. Give me. You can search Dr. Mahesh Babu, you will get it. Let me open here, you can. I think this is profile, right?
Sir, not able to see. The screen is not presenting.
Will type here. Is it visible? I will type in this chart, okay, you can copy from there. I think I'm unable to send the message. You can take from here. You can type Dr. Mahesh Babu, you will get it, okay? In LinkedIn. Dr. Mahesh Babu. Your voice is
right?
not audible. Your voice is breaking. Much disturbance is there in your
Okay.
voice.
DR Maheshwar full.
DR means doctor. I'm a professor. I have done PhD in cloud security. But I have real-time experience in .NET and teaching most of that means training I have done in .NET.
No, sir, I am talking about LinkedIn search. I am not getting DR MAH ESH BABU, right?
This is, I'm displaying on, oh, I did not share the screen, I think. Let me share the screen so you will get it.
Okay.
I will share the screen. Stop sharing it, I hope so. Able to see?
Yes, sir. Perfect. Thank you.
So this is the LinkedIn profile. Right, so today I will search and keep, okay. Right, so I'm winding up the session. Have a nice time until the next session.